Hello, my name is Jennifer, and I just turned 60 years old. And I have had so many thoughts rolling around in my head, and I've kind of had a hard time wrapping my head around it. So I decided I wanted to do a video on how I feel about turning 60 years old. Have any of you had a particular age that you've had a birthday and turned, and it's been kind of difficult for you? Well, I remember when I turned 50, I was excited about turning 50 because, 50, I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. Yeah, right, that's not true. But 60, holy cow, where did the time go? I can't believe it. I cannot believe I'm 60 years old. Well, I remember when my dad turned 60. He and my mom had just moved to Tennessee, and he was starting up a new business in Tennessee, and they were struggling financially, and my mom had health problems. She was fighting bone marrow cancer, so they were having a pretty tough time. But I sent him $60 for his birthday, and when I called him on his birthday, he says, well, I wished I was turning 80. Then you'd have sent me 80 instead of 60. And I just thought, what a cute thing to say, Dad. And I've remembered that all these years. They have been a wonderful example to me about growing old gracefully and about handling their problems and being grateful in life. And I think that's what made them so happy in life, was they were just grateful for everything. They were grateful for each other, and they knew what was important. That was the key. They knew what was important, and it was each other, and it was the gospel of Jesus Christ that made them so happy. And they've just been a wonderful example to me, and I hope I can display that in my life as well. I am definitely entering into a new chapter in my life. Chad is going to be retiring, and the next 10-15 years are going to look very different than the last 40 years have looked. So I'm excited about that. I am looking forward to it. There's so many things that I want to do. And then, of course, after that, I'll be going into another chapter in life. Our life is made up of chapters, and I can see where the next 10-15 years we'll be doing some fun stuff, and then I can see where we'll go into another chapter in our lives that maybe won't be quite so fun. I don't know. But it'll probably be our final chapter in life. And I just know that I want to be a sweet little old lady. I do not want to be a cranky old lady that nobody wants to be around. And I see it in people all the time, and I do not want to be that ornery old lady. And so I remind myself that, and hopefully I won't be. Hopefully I'll be a nice, sweet little lady that people want to be around. That's an okay goal to want to be. We think about, what do we want to do? What do we want to have? Blah, blah, blah. That's who I want to be. I want to be a nice lady. I think that it's really important to look back on our life and learn from it. And I think it's important to look forward to the future and dream about it. But it's really important to live today, to live in today. And that is what I'm trying to do, because how many tomorrows we have, we don't know. And yesterday is gone. So it's really important to live in today. When I look back over my life, I don't think that I have appreciated the decades like I should have. I'll look at a picture and I'll remember taking that picture, being in that picture 10 years earlier, and I remember thinking, I didn't think that I looked that great back then, or whatever. And then I look at it today and I'm like, well, why was I so hard on myself? That's a cute picture. And I am positive that 10 years from now, I'm going to look back at me being 60 and say, oh, you were so young then. Why didn't you think that you looked good, or whatever? And so I just know that every decade you look back and think, why were we so hard on ourselves the decade previous to that? We have a lot of airplanes flying over our house this morning, and It's like everybody that has a private plane is out taking a spin in it this morning, so bear with me. It's just really easy to look back on our life and beat ourselves up. There's a lot of things that we've done in our life, in my life, that I wished I hadn't. And a lot of things I wished I'd have handled differently. But those trials that we went through back then are what has made us who we are today. And hopefully today I am a more generous, a more compassionate, more forgiving, more loving, more merciful, more grateful person, basically a more Christ-like person than I was then. And the goal, I guess, in my life is in 10 years from now that I will have more of those traits, that I will be even more Christ-like. And that is the goal, right? Before we leave this earth, to be just a good person. And that's what I want to be. I just want to be a good person. It's a lot to think about. Those are some of those things that have been swirling around in my head. Do any of you feel this way? Do any of you think about these kind of things? So as much as I do think about what we want to do in the next decade, traveling, visiting all the state parks, serving missions for our church, there's just so many things that we do want to do. I definitely want to take up painting more. I mean, really get into it. But we have been so busy, and YouTube takes a lot of time right now. And you wouldn't think so. Yeah, you just shoot 10 minutes of footage and blah, blah. No, it just takes more time than you would imagine. But I do want to get into the painting. I want to read more. There's so many fun things I want to do. But at the same time that I'm thinking about all those fun things I'm looking forward to, I do spend a lot of time thinking about who I want to be. Not necessarily what I want to do, but who do I want to become. And I realize that clock is ticking. And gosh, you would think whoever I wanted to become, I've had 60 years to do it. Now I'm down to, I don't know, who knows how long a person will live. I could live 20 years. I could live 40 years. My grandma lived to be 102. My mom only lived to be 68. So let's say I live to be 80. That is 20 more years. Can I make the changes in my life that I want to make in 20 years? I'm sure going to try. Wouldn't it be cool in 20 years from now that I make another video and look back and say, what did I do between 60 and 80? Did I do all those things that I talked about? Did I make the changes in my life that I thought were important? Am I a better person at 80 than I was at 60? That is going to be an interesting video, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to make another video at 80, and we'll see what the differences were. I wished I'd have done one at 40. I wished I'd have done one at 20. Are there things in your life that you want to accomplish by the time you're 40, 60, 80? Write them down. Make a video about it. This has been a lot of fun for me. It's made me think a lot about my life, about what I want to become. And I want to thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I have got the best YouTube audience out there. You are so kind to me. Thank you so much. And we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.